All right, let's talk about the multi-billion-dollar question that seems to be on every leader's mind right now. AI is everywhere. Companies are pouring tons of money into it, spinning up pilots, running experiments. But for all that hype, the actual results, they're just not showing up. So in this explainer, we're going to dig into why that is. Okay, this chart right here really tells the whole story. On one hand, you see this huge surge in AI adoption. I mean, everybody's doing it. But then you look at the other side, fewer than 20% of companies are seeing any real material impact. We're talking about an effect on revenue, on productivity, anything that really moves the needle. That huge gap, that's what we call the AI paradox. Widespread enthusiasm, but minimal return. I mean, that just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures what's happening in boardrooms all over the world. They've signed the checks, they've greenlit the projects, but now they're left wondering how to turn all that initial buzz into a real, lasting advantage. So, what's really getting in the way? Well, here's the thing. The problem isn't the AI. The technology itself is incredible. The real issue is all the hidden roadblocks that are already inside the business, just waiting to stop these powerful new tools in their tracks. So let's break down exactly what those roadblocks are. The best way to think about this is to see them as four fundamental debts that most companies have been building up for years, maybe without even realizing it. And these debts, they create this really weak foundation that just crumbles when you try to build a real AI transformation on top of it. So first up is process debt. This is what happens when you try to just sprinkle some AI on top of a messy, broken, decades-old process. You know, if your workflow is already a patchwork of manual steps and weird exceptions, AI won't fix it. It'll just help you do the wrong thing faster. It's like putting a rocket engine on a rusty bicycle. Next, we have got to talk about data debt. You've heard it before, AI is only as smart as the data it learns from. So if your data is locked away in different departments, if it's messy and inconsistent, or if it's totally lacking business context, well, your AI is going to give you unreliable results. You end up with these amazing demos that look great, but then they completely fall apart in the real world. And then, of course, there's technology debt. A lot of companies are still running on these old, clunky systems that were built for humans, moving at human speed. They just can't handle the real-time data and the sheer scale that this new wave of autonomous, or what we call agentic AI, really needs to do its job. And finally, and this one might be the most important, is skills debt. You see, the real goal here isn't just to automate everything away. It's to create this powerful collaboration between people and AI. But if your team doesn't have the skills to work with AI, what you get is fear, you get resistance, and you get a ton of powerful tools that nobody's actually using. It's a massive missed opportunity. So that's the problem. How do we fix it? Well, overcoming these debts isn't about small tweaks or patches. It really requires a huge shift in how we think about work itself. We have to move from just automating little tasks to completely transforming entire workflows. Just look at the contrast here. On the left, that's the old way, these rigid, sequential workflows. Everything happens in a straight line, one department hands off to the next, and critical information gets lost at every single step. But on the right, you have agentic workflows. These are smart, they're adaptive, they hold on to context from beginning to end, and they elevate people into the role of supervisors, making the big decisions. And this brings us right to the heart of the solution, agentic AI. Now, this is not just an AI assistant that helps you write an email or summarize a document. No, this is a team of AI agents that can run an entire complex process, like managing insurance claims or forecasting a supply chain, completely on its own, from start to finish. It's an AI that orchestrates work across different systems and makes smart choices all along the way. So what does this actually look like in the real world? Because this isn't just some sci-fi theory. We're going to walk through the three main pillars of a proven enterprise blueprint that actually puts this agentic idea into practice and delivers some absolutely massive results. The first pillar is all about totally reimagining those core business processes. So instead of just slapping AI onto your old systems, the goal here is to rebuild those broken, fragmented workflows into intelligent, end-to-end agentic workflows that actually learn and adapt as they go. And the potential here is just staggering. One company that pioneered this approach has already documented over $3.5 billion in savings, and they did it simply by transforming their own internal processes in areas like finance, HR, and procurement. That's a huge number. Okay, pillar number two goes right after that technology debt we talked about by completely reimagining how software gets built. So instead of the slow manual process of coding and testing, agentic workflows automate pretty much the whole thing, from planning and writing code all the way to deployment and security checks.
And the impact? It's a massive jump in efficiency. We're talking about development teams seeing productivity go up by more than 50%. This frees them up to stop just keeping the lights on and start actually innovating at the speed the business really needs.
And the final pillar, number three, this is the one that tackles skills debt head on by putting power directly into the hands of the workforce. The idea is to give every single employee, not just the tech wizards, the ability to build and use their own AI assistants and agents all within a safe and governed framework.
And look, this is not some small pilot program. This blueprint has been scaled across a workforce of over 130,000 active users. You've got employees building thousands of their own custom AIs, totally supercharging how they work and driving real innovation from the bottom up. It's amazing.
Now, those are some really big, impressive numbers, I get it. But let's bring this down to earth for a second. What does this really mean for one person's actual day? Let's look at a day in the life of a sales professional and see how this new way of working completely changes the game.
Just look at the difference. On the left, you've got the typical grind for a salesperson. Hours of manual research, updating the CRM, drafting endless follow-up emails. It all adds up to about 7 hours of just admin work. But on the right, with specialized AI agents doing the heavy lifting, one agent preps the pitch deck, another one drafts the follow-up emails, and a third keeps the CRM perfectly in sync. This frees up about 4 hours every single day for what actually matters, talking to customers.
So you're probably asking, okay, how is this actually possible? Well, it's not magic. It's all powered by an underlying platform that works like an AI operating system for the entire company. It provides knowledge that's aware of the business context. It gives everyone a simple no-code builder so they don't have to be a developer. And it wraps the whole thing in really strong governance so everything stays safe and secure.
So, let's wrap all of this up. The most crucial point here is this. If you want to escape the AI paradox and see real value, it's not about just buying the shiniest new AI tool. It's about a deep, strategic transformation of your processes, your tech, and most importantly, your people. So what's the path forward? Well, it really comes down to 3 key steps. First, you have to acknowledge and start paying down those 4 debts: process, data, tech, and skills. Second, you've got to raise your ambitions from simple AI assistants to truly transformative agentic workflows. And third, you need a single, unified platform that can pull all of this together and drive that change across the whole business. And that leaves us with one final, really critical thought. The whole conversation has changed. The question for leaders isn't if they should adopt AI anymore. The real question is how they're going to build the strategic foundation they need to escape this paradox and turn the incredible promise of AI into a real, durable, competitive advantage.